The Distrius Cal. The survey vessel Celestial Harmony drifted silently through the void, its crystalline hull shimmering like a jewel against the darkness of space. On the observation deck, Chief Researcher Ilara stood motionless, her iridescent skin reflecting the starlight as her four eyes gazed out at the slow-moving asteroid field ahead. Her slender body barely cast a shadow in the ambient lighting. "How much longer until we reach the signal source?" Ilara asked, her melodic voice barely above a whisper. Navigator Thilin's translucent fingers danced over the control console. "We should arrive at the coordinates in approximately 17 minutes, Chief." The entire crew of 12 Astrali had been buzzing with excitement since their long-range sensors had detected the strange repeating pattern 3 days ago. For centuries, the Astrali Confederation had explored this sector, cataloging stellar phenomena and seeking evidence of other sentient life. Yet in all their travels, they had never found another spacefaring civilization. Until now. "Play the signal again," Ilara requested. A series of rhythmic pulses filled the command deck, repeating in a mathematical sequence that could only be the product of intelligence. The pattern was unmistakably artificial, a deliberate message cast into the void. "The signal appears to be extremely old. Communication." Chen nodded thoughtfully. 2 months ago, Earth's deep space monitoring stations had picked up what appeared to be a first contact message from an alien civilization. After weeks of analysis and debate, the United Earth government had dispatched the Indomitable to investigate and offer assistance if needed. "Any weapons signatures?" Chen asked. "Negative, Captain," Tactical Officer Rodriguez reported. "The alien vessel appears to be completely unarmed. Its hull would barely withstand a micrometeorite impact, let alone weapons fire." Chen frowned. "Open a communication channel. Let's introduce ourselves." The main view screen flickered to life, revealing the interior of the alien ship. The humans stared in amazement at the beings they saw. The aliens were tall and slender with 4 arms, translucent skin that shimmered with bioluminescence, and 4 large eyes arranged around an elongated head. They looked almost like living glass sculptures, beautiful but fragile beyond measure. "This is Captain Maya Chen of the UES Indomitable, representing the United Earth government. We received your signal and have come to offer assistance." The alien leader seemed to sway slightly when she spoke, her melodic voice translated by the ship's eye. "I am Chief Researcher Ilara of the survey vessel Celestial Harmony. We sent no distress signal. We found an ancient beacon and responded to it." Chen's eyes narrowed. "You didn't send the original signal. Then who did?" "The beacon appears to be centuries old," Ilara explained. "We believed we were making first contact with whoever left it." As they spoke, the Astrali crew stared at the humans with growing unease. The human bodies looked impossibly dense and solid. Their movements were quick and powerful. Even through the view screen, the Astrali could sense something deeply disturbing about these beings. "Permission to come aboard your vessel for a face-to-face meeting," Chen suggested. Ilara hesitated, then reluctantly agreed. 30 minutes later, a shuttle from the Indomitable docked with the Celestial Harmony. Captain Chen and Science Officer Dr. Raj Kumar stepped through the airlock into the alien vessel. The gravity was much lighter than Earth's, making them feel as if they might float away with each step. The Astrali crew backed away as the humans entered. To the aliens, the humans moved in a terrifying manner. Too fast, too solid, too predatory. "Your gravity is set quite low," Kumar commented, trying to be friendly. "This is normal gravity for us," Ilara explained nervously. You come from a high-gravity world. Earth has about 3 times this gravity," Chen said casually. The Astrali exchanged horrified glances. Only death worlds had gravity that high. "And your atmosphere?" asked Varen, voice trembling. "Nitrogen-oxygen mix, about 21% oxygen," Kumar replied. The Astrali scientist looked as if they might faint. Such oxygen levels would cause fires everywhere. As the meeting continued, the Australi learned more alarming facts about humans. They could survive temperature variations of over 100 degrees. Their bones would heal after breaking. They contained iron in their blood. Most terrifying of all, they had evolved as pursuit predators who could chase prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. By the end of the meeting, Ilara understood the terrible mistake they had made. They had broadcast their coordinates across the galaxy, and in response, they had awakened something ancient and powerful, a species that had conquered a world so deadly that its very existence should have been impossible. Dr. Kumar sat across from Varen in the Australi ship's conference room. The table between them held refreshments from both vessels. The human side featured ceramic cups of water and protein bars, while the Australi side had delicate crystalline vessels containing glowing blue liquid. "So your people have never experienced war?" Kumar asked, taking notes on his tablet. Varen's crest shifted to a pale yellow of confusion. "War. We understand the concept from theoretical studies, but no. Australi have always worked together to solve problems." Kumar nodded, trying to hide his surprise. "And what about personal violence? Do Australi ever physically attack one another?" Varen's four eyes widened simultaneously. "That would be unthinkable. Our bodies are too fragile. Even a slight impact could shatter our skeletal structure." Kumar glanced down at his notes. The Australi had evolved on a world with stable weather, few natural disasters, abundant resources, and most importantly, no predators. Their bodies had never needed to develop strong muscles or dense bones. They had never experienced the constant danger that shaped human evolution. In another room, Captain Chen met with Ilara to discuss their societies. The differences became more alarming with each exchange. "You mentioned that humans can continue functioning after being injured," Ilara said nervously. "Could you explain what you mean?" Chen shrugged. "If a human breaks an arm, we set the bone, put it in a cast, and keep working. It heals in a few weeks." "Heals?" Ilara whispered. "You mean regrows?" "Well, yes. Don't Australi bones heal?" Ilara's skin paled to almost transparent. "If an Australi suffers a broken bone, they are permanently disabled. No regeneration occurs." Chen's eyebrows rose in surprise. "What about cuts or wounds?" "A serious cut would be life-threatening," Ilara explained. "Our healing processes are very slow." As these conversations continued throughout the day, both species began to understand how different they truly were. The humans learned that the Australi lived for over 200 years, but were so fragile that even a fall could kill them. The Australi discovered that humans needed to sleep every day, ate the flesh of other creatures, and could survive injuries that would be fatal to any Australi. By evening, the Australi crew had begun using the term Deathworlders when discussing the humans in private. "They come from a world that should not support intelligent life," Varen told their colleagues. "High gravity, high oxygen, extreme temperatures, constant threats from predators, and natural disasters. These conditions should prevent advanced civilization from developing. Yet they not only survive but thrive," Mira added. "Their bodies are built to endure conditions that would kill us instantly." Ilara looked out of a viewing port at the massive human ship floating nearby. Its weapon systems could destroy the celestial harmony with a single blast. "We must be careful," she said quietly. "These humans mean well, but they don't understand their own danger. A casual gesture from them could break our bones. What they consider a light tap could shatter our skulls." Before anyone could respond, the ship's alarms began to sound. On the main screen, a new vessel appeared, dropping out of FTL with a flash of energy. It was enormous and covered in sharp blade-like extensions. Varen gasped in horror. "It's a Drakari warship." The Australi crew froze in terror. The situation had just become much worse. When Worlds QOLID, the Drakari warship loomed in the view screen, its obsidian hull bristling with weapon ports. The vessel was twice the size of the UES Indomitable and shaped like a predatory animal with forward-facing spines and serrated edges. "What is that?" Captain Chen asked, standing beside Ilara on the Celestial Harmony's bridge. "Dracari," Ilara whispered, her voice barely audible as her skin turned pale with fear. "They are conquerors." Chen's expression hardened. "Hostile." "Extremely," Ilara managed. "They subjugate peaceful species throughout this sector. Those who resist are eliminated." The communication system chimed, and the screen changed to show the interior of the Dracari ship. The alien that appeared made even the humans pause. The Dracari commander had thick, armored hide covered in bony plates, 6 glowing red eyes, and multiple limbs ending in serrated claws. Its mouth was filled with interlocking fangs. "Astrali vessel," the Dracari growled, its voice translated into a harsh, guttural sound. "You have violated territory now claimed by the Dracari Imperium. Your ship and all technology are now forfeit. Prepare to be boarded." Ilara stepped forward, visibly trembling. "We were not aware of any territorial claims in this region, Commander. We are on a peaceful survey mission. We will withdraw immediately." Silence. The Dracari commander interrupted. Its attention shifted to Captain Chen. "What is this other vessel? It does not match our records." Chen moved into view. "I am Captain Maya Chen of the UES Indomitable, representing Earth. We are here on a diplomatic mission." The Dracari commander's upper eyes narrowed. "Earth, this system is not in our database. Explain your presence." "We received a signal that we interpreted as a request for assistance," Chen replied evenly. "We came to investigate." The Dracari made a sound like grinding metal, which the translation system identified as laughter. "How unfortunate for you. Your vessel will also be claimed for study. Your technology appears interesting. Prepare to be boarded." The screen went dark. Chen immediately tapped her communication device. "Indomitable, this is Chen. Battle stations. The Dracari vessel is hostile. Prepare defensive positions and ready weapon systems." Ilara grabbed Chen's arm in panic. "You cannot fight them. The Dracari have conquered dozens of systems. Their weapons technology is centuries beyond ours." Chen gently but firmly removed Ilara's hand from her arm. "With all due respect, Chief Researcher, your technology may be behind theirs, but ours isn't. Now, I need to get back to my ship. You should prepare your people for evacuation." "Evacuation?" Ilara asked, confused. "Your ship has no defenses. It won't survive combat. We'll try to buy you time to escape." Chen turned to Kumar. "Doctor, back to the shuttle." As the humans prepared to leave, Ilara called out, "Wait, take us with you." Chen paused. "Your people would be in even more danger on a combat vessel. The Celestial Harmony cannot outrun a Dracari warship," Ilara explained. "Our only chance is with you." Chen considered this briefly, then nodded. "Very well. Gather your essential personnel and technology. You have 10 minutes." Aboard the Indomitable, the human crew moved with practiced efficiency. Armored shutters closed over viewports. Weapon systems powered up. Marines in combat exoskeletons took up defensive positions at potential boarding points. In the shuttle bay, Captain Chen greeted the 12 trembling Astrali as they disembarked from their transport. The aliens looked even more fragile surrounded by the heavily armed humans. "Chief Researcher Ilara, your people will be escorted to secure quarters," Chen explained. "Lieutenant Rodriguez will." The ship rocked suddenly as an impact struck the hull. "Captain, to the bridge," came the urgent call over the intercom. On the bridge, Tactical Officer Rodriguez reported, "Dracari vessel has opened fire, Captain. Shields holding at 92%. Their weapons are powerful, but not beyond our capabilities." "Target their weapons systems," Chen ordered. "Fire when ready." The Indomitable's main cannons unleashed a barrage of concentrated energy that struck the Dracari ship with pinpoint accuracy. The enemy vessel shuddered under the impact. "Direct hit," Rodriguez reported. "We've damaged their forward weapons array." The Drakari responded with another volley, more powerful than the first. The Indomitable shook violently. "Shields at 78%, Captain. They're adapting to our defensive frequencies." Chen's eyes narrowed. "Rotate shield harmonics. Prepare for evasive pattern Delta 6. The massive human warship moved with surprising agility, rolling to present the smaller target profile while continuing to fire at the Drakari vessel. In the secure quarters, the Astrali huddled together in terror as the battle raged. They had never experienced combat, never felt the stomach-dropping lurch of a ship performing evasive maneuvers, never heard the bone-jarring sound of weapon impacts against shields. "We're going to die," Varan whispered, their skin pulsing with fear patterns. "The humans seem confident," Mira offered weakly. Ilara stared at the tactical display on the wall. "They're fighting as if they've done this before. But how? War is unnatural." Not to humans, she realized. The species that evolved on a death world would be accustomed to constant struggle. Every day of their existence was combat against their environment. They had been forged in adversity. On the bridge, the situation was deteriorating. "Captain, shields at 45%, Rodriguez reported. "We've inflicted significant damage to their weapon systems, but their hull integrity remains above 70%. Chen frowned. "Their armor is impressive. We need a new approach." She turned to her science officer. "Dr. Kumar, any weaknesses you can identify?" Kumar studied the sensor readings. "Their propulsion system appears to be concentrated in the aft section. If we could get behind them." "Helm, bring us around. Full power to rear shields as we make the turn." As the Indomitable executed the maneuver, the ship rocked violently. "Hull breach on Deck 3, reported the damage control officer. "Emergency force fields engage." Chen's expression remained calm despite the crisis. "Status of the Astrali." "Their quarters are intact, Captain." The intercom suddenly activated with Ilara's voice. "Captain Chen, may I speak with you? It's urgent." "This isn't a good time, Chief Researcher," Chen replied. "I believe we can help," Ilara insisted. "The Drakari ships have a vulnerability our scientists discovered years ago." Chen hesitated only for a moment. "Come to the bridge. Security, escort Chief Researcher Ilara here immediately." Minutes later, Ilara arrived, flanked by 2 armed Marines. She moved carefully in the higher gravity, her body clearly straining with the effort. "Their armor," she said without preamble. "It uses a crystalline matrix that resonates at specific frequencies. If you can match that frequency with your weapon's fire, the armor will shatter rather than absorb the impact." Kumar looked skeptical. "Our sensors haven't detected any such resonance pattern." "Your sensors aren't calibrated to detect it," Ilara explained. "Our scientists spent decades studying Drakari technology in secret. Varan can help modify your sensors." Chen made her decision quickly. "Dr. Kumar, work with the Astrali specialist. Rodriguez, be ready to recalibrate weapons the moment we have the frequency." As Kumar and Varan worked feverishly on the sensor modifications, the battle continued. The Indomitable sustained more damage with each exchange, but gave as good as it got. The Drakari warship's movements had become sluggish, indicating damage to its maneuvering systems. "Captain," Kumar called out finally, "we've identified the resonance frequency." "Transmitting to weapons control now," Varan added, their hands moving with surprising speed across the human console. "Rodriguez, recalibrate main cannons and fire when ready," Chen ordered. The Indomitable's weapons fired again, but this time the energy beams had a different pulse pattern. When they struck the Drakari ship, the effect was dramatic. Instead of being absorbed or deflected, the beams created a cascading pattern of fractures across the enemy vessel's armor. "Direct hit," Rodriguez reported, excitement in his voice. "Their hull integrity is dropping rapidly. 65%, 48%, 30%. The Drakari ship attempted to retreat, but the Indomitable pursued relentlessly. "They're charging their FTL drive," reported the sensor officer. "Target their engine section," Chen commanded. "Don't let them escape." Another barrage of modified weapons fire struck the Drakari vessel's engines. Explosions rippled along its hull as the resonance effect shattered not just armor but critical internal components. "Their power core is destabilizing," Kumar reported. "They're going to." The Drakari warship exploded in a brilliant flash that temporarily overloaded the view screen. When the image cleared, only debris remained. A cheer erupted from the human crew. Captain Chen allowed it for a moment before calling for order. "Damage report," she requested. "Hull breaches on decks 3 and 5. Shields at 12%. Weapons systems operating at 60% capacity," came the reply. "Casualty report indicates 7 injured, no fatalities." Chen nodded grimly. "Begin repairs immediately. Security teams remain on alert in case there are any Drakari survivors among the debris." She turned to find Ilara staring at her with an expression of mingled horror and awe. You destroyed them," the Astrali said quietly. "They gave us no choice," Chen responded. "They fired first and made their intentions clear. But you killed them so efficiently." Chen sighed. "This isn't our first combat situation, Chief Researcher. Humanity has faced threats before. We've learned to defend ourselves." Hours later, with emergency repairs underway, Captain Chen met with the Astrali leadership in the ship's conference room. The atmosphere was tense. "My people are grateful for your protection," Ilara began carefully. "But we are also concerned." "About what?" Chen asked directly. "Your species, your capabilities, your comfort with violence." Chen leaned forward. "Chief Researcher, I understand your concern. Humans have a complex history. Yes, we evolved as predators. Yes, we developed through conflict. But we've also built civilizations based on cooperation, art, philosophy, and compassion. Yet you build warships," Varan pointed out. "Because the universe isn't always kind," Chen replied. "Look at what happened today. If we hadn't been here, if we hadn't been prepared for combat, what would have happened to your people?" The Astrali had no answer for that. "Different evolutionary paths create different strengths," Kumar added gently. "You developed incredible scientific knowledge, remarkable medical technologies, and a peaceful society. We developed resilience, adaptability, and yes, the ability to fight when necessary." Ilara's skin shifted through several colors as she processed this. Perhaps both have value. "Perhaps together, we're stronger than either would be alone," Chen suggested. 2 weeks later, as the Indomitable approached Astrali space, the mood had changed dramatically. The human crew and their Astrali guests had worked side by side on repairs, exchanged knowledge, and begun to understand each other better. In the ship's hydroponics bay, Mira watched in fascination as a human botanist carefully pruned a flowering plant. "It's remarkable," the Astrali xenobiologist commented. "Your hands are so strong, yet you can perform such delicate tasks." The botanist smiled. "Strength without control is just brute force. Humanity learned that lesson long ago." On the bridge, Captain Chen and Ilara stood together, watching the approach to the magnificent crystalline structures that formed the Astrali homeworld's orbital stations. "The Council is eager to meet with you," Ilara said. "This will be the first formal diplomatic contact between our peoples." Chen nodded. "And I've received word from Earth. The United Earth government is sending a diplomatic delegation. They're very interested in establishing relations with the Astrali Confederation." "Do you think our peoples can truly work together?" Ilara asked. "We are so different." "I think that's precisely why we should work together," Chen replied. "Your science, our resilience. Your peaceful nature, our protective instincts. Together, we might create something remarkable." As the Indomitable moved into orbit around the Astrali homeworld, news of the encounter with the Drakari spread quickly through the Confederation. For the first time in their history, the Astrali began to consider the value of having allies who could fight, Deathworlders who had mastered the art of survival against impossible odds. And on Earth, humans learned of a civilization that had achieved wonders without conflict, creating technologies born from curiosity rather than necessity. Two species, shaped by radically different worlds, found in each other the qualities they themselves lacked. The galaxy would never be the same.